After 16 years in the US market, the name Prius has become synonymous with the term hybrid. Now for 2016, Toyota has completely overhauled what has become the world's best-selling example. How did they do? Let's take a look. The Prius has become more than a car. It's become a corporate symbol. It's also become quite ubiquitous, with more than 3.5 million examples globally sold. It's gone through 3 model generations, and this is the 4th generation, fully evolved. In every generation, you've seen a successive 10% increase in the miles per gallon. This year, the miles per gallon by EPA reckoning are 52 for 5 trim levels, and 56 for the 2 Eco, which is the most efficient trim level and the highest MPG car that you can buy in America without a plug. The Prius looks similar to what it was before, but it's completely different from the ground up. It's the pioneer of the Toyota New Global Architecture, which will be the underpinnings for several bread and butter cars throughout Toyota's global lineup. This being a premier product gets it first. The chassis uses 19% high-strength steel, where last year it used 3%. The torsional rigidity, which is how stiff it is, has increased by 60%. They've also done things to augment this car's particular sportiness by, for the first time in its history, it gets an independent double wishbone rear suspension and a tightening up of suspension rates to try to make it a little bit better handling. One of the objections with the vehicle is that it's always had a bit of a hinge in the middle. And it actually, what it's basically done is it's brought the vehicle up to acceptable normal handling capability. It's actually almost fun. Coefficient of drag on this vehicle is now 0.24, which puts it in elite company with the Tesla Model S, with the Hyundai Sonata plug-in hybrid, and the pending Hyundai Ioniq. The new Prius Liftback comes in just about the same price level that the vehicle did before in 2015. They start at about $25,000 and work up to $31,000. The model you're looking at here is the 4 Touring, and it is stickered about $33,600 with all options. When you buy a hybrid, one of the main things you're considering, besides the aerodynamics and all the other little efficiencies, is of course the powertrain. The powertrain for the Prius is all new, although based on similar architecture from before. The same displacement engine is paired with 2 motor generators, generator 1 and generator 2. MG2 is the one they normally quote a power figure for, which is combined with the 1.8 liter Atkinson cycle engine. It's an all new engine code. They've taken pains to optimize it throughout by reducing internal friction, improving intake exhaust, the way the fuel burns and the way the engine breathes. They even lowered the viscosity of the oil. Getting the engine up to temperature is critical for MPGs, so this car is optimized for that. There's even an active grille shutter, which is electronically controlled automatically, the airflow into the vehicle. The motor generator that pairs with the engine is a 71 horsepower, 53 kilowatt motor, and the engine is 95 horsepower at 5,200 RPM. Now this year, Toyota, you might have seen, has lowered the horsepower figure for the vehicle at 121 system total horsepower, electric plus gas. Bottom line is the acceleration's about the same, of 0 to 60 in about 10 seconds. They talk about there being less weight with the vehicle, but actually it's only 40 pounds. According to Toyota, the curb weight for the Prius 2 Eco is 3,010 pounds. The next trim level up from that is the Prius trim level 3. It's 40 pounds more. That somehow allows Toyota to claim 4 miles per gallon better for the Eco 2 than all other trim levels. There's 5 other trim levels. So between the heaviest and the lightest, there's only about 70 pounds difference. Also notable is the battery. The base level 2 is the carried over nickel metal hydride battery. All the other trim levels get a new lithium-ion battery. When Toyota redesigned the Prius, they thoroughly made the vehicle more modern than what was before. They've gone and changed things around with a new display, new graphic interface, dual TFT displays, everything center mounted, a rather large infotainment screen. We're in the Prius Touring level 4, and this one has all the bells and whistles that you can conceivably want, over and above the N-Tune system, which is not as desirable, frankly, as an Apple CarPlay or an Android Auto, but is perfectly compatible with your smartphone. What also this includes is a host of Toyota's new Safety Sense technology suite, which is being pioneered in this vehicle, and by 2017, all the vehicles in Toyota's lineup almost will have TSS, Toyota Safety Sense. This one has things like blind spot monitoring and a rear backup safety. It has a spatial awareness with it, with all the sensors with it. It has a radar cruise control. Very sophisticated vehicle. It even has things like a park assist, where you can position it and it'll park into a parallel parking situation, hands-free, fully autonomously at low speeds. All you have to do is shift the lever and it will do so, the shifter, and it'll also back into a spot as well. But what you get here is a nice quality plastics and mostly soft touch in all the areas. It's a little bit hard here on the center console, but it's not painful. Same on the armrest. Now down below, you've got the harder plastics, which, you know, to be fair, that may also help with scratch resistance too. I don't know if I'd want a soft material down there. So the layout and the design and the materials are all good. It has their environmentally friendly Softex material, which is imitation leather. Softex wrapped here, steering wheel. A couple things I would rather see different about the vehicle is the contour of the seat. It sort of bends you into a bit of a C. It's not terrible, and I have the lumbar support automatically pushed out as far as possible, so it minimizes the effect. With the lumbar all the way back, it's even worse, but it sort of bends you forward. I would like this headrest to go back a little bit. Also, I'm not particularly thrilled about the white. The white is actually pretty much so 2011 Chevy Volt, frankly. With the vehicle, though, if you happen to have a key compatible wireless device, it has that here, a charging port that's for wireless charging of your device. With the CVT transmission, one of the things that folks love to hate is the soundtrack. Pejoratively, folks will call it a motorboat sound. It's not a stepped gear change. This is one thing that Hyundai is doing different with their Prius fighters. They have avoided CVTs for that reason, and they have said so, that they like the sound of a stepped gearing with an automatic transmission. Fuel economy we've been seeing with this vehicle has been an easy 50 miles per gallon, upper 40s at the very lower. Driving normally. Now, of course, if you drive around without any care and you put your foot in it and you break the speed limit everywhere you go, it'll be in the lower 40s. I think it'll be pretty hard to get it into 30s, but you could do that. And if you drive it sedately, our first 150 miles, ended up having 57 and change miles per gallon. Driving legally, not hypermiling it whatsoever, just driving the car, 57 miles per gallon. That's like a motorcycle. That's phenomenal. Beating EPA is no sweat. The looks may be polarizing, but the functionality and the MPGs are hard to argue with. For now, Toyota's 2016 Prius is at the top of its game.